slate, just kind of tell us who you are and why you're here.
I'm TJ and my film is being presented to me.
Your spooky film.
I'm British, so just sarcasm is my first.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
valid.
So I have to be professional.
I'm from Barbados, so in the Commonwealth, I get it.
Okay, you know the British.
Yeah.
My name is Trishul Thejasvi. I'm the director of Marla, and we're here to let the world know about our exciting film that in the world of Indian films and horror, nothing exists like this. There's no tantra film. There's no films about just Indian kids not being Indian. We don't talk about, there's a few lines here and there which kind of, like, Indian people will appreciate, but we're not trying to say who's getting an arranged marriage. We're not like trying to do the same old thing. They're just kids. And there were a few casts like they have named Robert, Dorothy. So your immediate instinct is to cast West Indian people because it was meant to be on a Caribbean island, or you cast white people or something else. And I was like, no, just you can have Christian people, or Christian Indians, Robert, but who cares? Like, who cares? Just there's so many horror films out there. Let this be one, right? It's just Indian. Like, why not? And even the island where it's set, like, according to me, it doesn't exist anymore. It's just it's an imaginary island. There's a whole mix of races because casting Indian people in Florida is impossible. So we had to, like, make some compromises. But I think people will enjoy the film. It's just for me, it's like a dream film, where it's not quite clear what's going on. I like films like that where you left. Like, it doesn't have to be a full resolution all the time with the characters and stories. Sometimes it's nice to be able to think a day later and be like, oh, I remember those scenes or that image or something like that. Like David Lynch films, on the surface, they're not coherent, but they are. But I still remember every David Lynch film. It's like a dream. Good or a bad dream, you remember it. And I think that's more important.
A lot of Americans like. Sorry,
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say a lot of Americans like they want their explanation at the end of every horror movie. So when you get like a lot of European films or Asian films, they don't always.
Yeah.
And yet, that's part of the ideas. That you're not. It's not. It's the ideas. It's not just.
Like Korean horror films, like the same thing. Like, you're left with an uneasy feeling. And like the ending of this film, which I can't give away, it's not anything you'll ever expect. It's just unusual.
That's how you know it's a good horror film. Like, they're not supposed to have happy endings.
No.
So I'm Mari from Temple of Geek. I have a South Asian background, so I'm really appreciative of having representation. And I always believe that horror is always the genre that transcends and it's allowing newer stories and it allows a wealth of newer stories. And you touched about the representation in the channel, and I want to say, why do you believe horror is such an important genre for Indian representation?
I can't say it's specifically any more important than any other genre. I think for me personally, horror or thriller type films are cool. I enjoy doing, for me personally, I love films that show something you can't see with your own two eyes. Right? Like I said, the dream aspect.
Yeah.
Horror isn't a popular genre within Indian cinema.
Yeah.
It's recently becoming a bit more popular.
Yeah.
I think they always say like Bollywood catches on 10 years later than Hollywood.
So I grew up on Bollywood, so I'm very much aware of the trend.
And it was a very cheesy type of thing, which I don't say it's bad.
It's important for what it was.
Yeah, and I think within indie films, I really haven't seen Indian horror.
Yeah.
Like, we actually don't see that much anything.
There's a little Bollywood. I remember they got a couple DVDs of Bollywood. I think there might have been some Bollywood. I can't imagine, but like musical numbers interspersed.
So, okay, there's a
that's what undercuts it.
Bulbulia.
Yeah, it was a Bulbulaya.
Body translated as body.
But they have songs in there, and
Yeah, they
it
do.
works because naturally, when you watch Bollywood films, the songs kind of tell the part of the story that you can't say with words, right? And that's like when I started realizing about Bollywood films, it started becoming kind of magical.
Very well said.
Like
It's the inner dialogue kind of happens.
exactly, yeah. Instead of a character saying "I love you,"
It's a
That's
dance
what I'm
sequence.
out
It's
to
a
going on,
dance
yeah.
sequence in a middle social life.
There's like a Lost Boys musical coming out. I just had this thing about singing vampires. I'm like, just stop. I can't.
well, it's like the end of Getting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, so what was that? The end of the puppets. The end of Great Sarah Marshall.
Oh yeah, there was a puppet split.
They're vampires.
But you know what though, Anna and the Apocalypse, which was this,
Oh, that was great.
that was
yeah,
a musical zombie movie. That was actually brilliant.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Well, Sinners, you could say, was also even like had musical tones to it too, and it was brilliant with
But it
its
had the
musicality.
blues.
Exactly. Yeah.
One thing that my name's Alex. I'm from Good Men Project. I loved your film, and I wanted to say that it was kind of a love letter to me in a way, because although it is different culturally, it reminded me of some of my favorites. Like growing up, like in the '70s, when I was too young to watch the movies that I loved to watch, it was like Island of Death or The Wicker Man. You guys had mentioned. Or, you know, all the kind of psychological, is it real, is it not real, what's happening. More recently, Midsommar, you know, that kind of just totally creepy and kind of window into a culture that I had no idea. You know, I don't know what's real, what's not, but I want to know more about it. And I was talking to, I'm sorry, what's her name? Yes, and she had talked about how when she started, she had superficially looked at Tantra, but when she started delving into it, she kind of instinctively kind of pulled away because there was that, you know, it's ancient and there's powerful magic there. What drew you to this project in particular, as far as, you know, culturally, but also, you know, with the horror?
Well, I think even for me, the Tantra stuff was interesting. I was like, we all have a version of Tantra, like Tantric sex or like voodoo. Everyone said it was the Indian voodoo. But then I started reading about it, and that for me was just another reason to explore something in life that I probably wouldn't. We don't normally have an interest. It's not a video game, so why would I care? So it's like, yeah, I think that's what's really like to learn more, find out more, and having ties to my culture. It's like interesting. My dad's always a very keen historian, and he tried to impart as much as he could on me with it, and it kind of comes out once in a while in his film. Find out more about it. Like I said in the film, it's not a history lesson. We're not going into it too much. It's like a flavor. Like it guides the process. It's what the characters is their religion.
I love the, I don't know, it seemed kind of like White Lotus India almost in a way. Like this very kind of, what is going on here? What are these people doing? Why are they at this hotel? And when the scene with the spear, I was like, oh, well, here's the spear. I was like, okay, that's coming back. That's a third act.
Is it coming back?
I don't know. But I'm thinking that, you know, like the whole, you know, if you see a gun in the first act.
How is it going to come back? That's the interesting.
But I love that.
Yeah, we have some tropes. There are some tropes. Which you have to have.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. I'm looking, I'm waiting for
avoid
it.
cliches at the same time.
Yeah,
Remember I was watching Serpent in the Rainbow again. It was great. But I think he actually did go and study some of that. Except at the end, and he gets this kind of crazy big ending that he doesn't need.
Yeah.
The horror of it was great up until that point. Do you find there are any stereotypes of Indian culture that people you were aware of?
They try to avoid.
Yeah. There are many, I know, but
I was very clear that we don't say the word curry at any point.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know, there's so many. I think the typical one is that we're all lawyers and doctors, we're all educated. It's actually kind of true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm married to a doctor. The stereotypes are usually based on something that's real, but I think the main thing is, like, so in my film school, they were pushing me to make Indian themed films. They're like, this is your thing. I was like, no, it's not. I grew up in North Wales. Like, I watch Hollywood films. Like, yeah, this is my skin color. Yes, I'm aware of India, but that's not me. That's just a problem. Yeah, he's not done Indian films. And I'm like, yeah, they brought that his name up. And I was like, great example. The films aren't about Indian culture, but there is this, like, Sixth Sense is a spiritual feel about it, right? That does come from Indian culture. But I think that's interesting. It's like people think of India as curry, right? Of IT, they think all these kind of things. They forget India is a vast country. You go from one village to the next, there's entirely different things going on. because it's such an old country.
Billion people.
Billion people.
Well, I think there's a very colonialist view that
Yeah.
still
Yes.
runs
Yeah.
through of like what India is. Well, what you could get out of it, tea and you know what
Yeah,
else you could get. You know,
Eat, pray, love.
Yeah.
There's a commodification
exactly
of
the
culture.
commodifying
Love
of the
it.
culture. I mean, you know, I'm from Barbados. I get it. I understand.
So what do you hope, what would Mala do for future projects in Indian representation or thrillers? Actually, I think that, I don't know if you answered the question. What do you hope future influences will be from watching Mala?
From watching them.
Or for creators, or
Oh, whoever
filmmakers,
watched.
actors, or anything.
Yeah,
There's
just
huge influence.
cast more Indian people in roles that are just normal people. I think that's simple.
That's great.
And tell other Indian filmmakers any genre is open.
Yeah.